This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while now. A video that talks about a bunch of useless information about the 1.6 GDPS. If you've heard about Cybershell, he's made bonus videos for Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and while he did promise to make the first two, I kind of never really said I'd do that in a past video, so this is quite literally a bonus video. So sit back, relax, and grab your snacks, because today, we're talking everything 1.6 GDPS related. We'll start with some common 1.6 knowledge. The 1.6 GDPS Discord server was created on February 19th, 2020 by Flux, and has had 5 owners over the course of the server's history, starting with Flux, then me, then Silery, then back to me, then Lifu, then Wave, and then finally back to Silery. And no, I'm not counting owners who were given the server for like a week to manage. I'm talking owners who had the server and were given it with the intent to manage it like full-time. And while I would go through the list of staff in 1.6, it changes pretty much constantly, and if I were to go through anyone who's ever been staff, we'd be here a while. Along with the Discord server, there's also the daemon list, which has gone through a lot of changes, and the first iteration is very simple, simply being just a Google document, and while I can't find the original date of when it was made, it was before May of 2020. And in case you're curious, this is what the top 10 looked like in the first iteration of the daemon list, and this is what it looks like today as of June of 2022 when this video is being uploaded. Pretty crazy. One cool thing about the original daemon list is that it lists Zanny as one of the list editors, and Zanny was actually a list editor for the original daemon list, and you can watch his completion of Blue Realm as it's still unlisted today. So yeah, that's kind of all I have for this section. Any questions?
Yeah, when do we get to, like, all the cool, like, beta stuff, you know?
Well, I mean, there aren't really any...
I don't care about all this nitty-gritty stuff, okay?
1.6 doesn't necessarily have any betas, since the old APKs are just the 1.6 versions of Geometry Dash from 2014, just running on 7m.pl. However, we can look at the old tool pages used to rate levels and make map packs from 2020. Or at least that's what I would show. However, due to 7m.pl no longer hosting the 1.6 servers, the pages don't direct you to anything, and you'll just be met with an error that the page does not exist. However, if you do still have the original APK from 2020 installed and you go onto it due to the server hacking, the servers are also down. The only thing you'll be able to see is your levels as seen in the footage being shown. Shout out to cool stuff. Oh, what's this? It's time to finally go over the server hacking from November of 2020. This is going to be a long story. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit and listen as we talk about the 1.6 Geometry Dash private server hacking of 2020. Yeah. In November of 2020, the 1.6 GDPS database was deleted, and the only thing that was managed to be saved was the level data. The whole thing is a massive shit show, and, yeah, fuck it, here we go. On the afternoon of November 6, 2020, the 1.6 GDPS database was hacked by someone going by the name of Cat GDPS, or Cat Goodapus. The person who was going by this alias was someone named Absorb, and, I actually know like nothing about him, to be honest. Around the time the 1.6 GDPS was started, Absorb was the owner of a similar sized server centered around 1.8, and before that in 2019 he had a 1.5 and 1.3 GDPS as well. And eventually one day he quit and disappeared, but a few days before the server hacking, he rejoined 1.6 and would be given VIP due to him being a trustworthy figure in the community. Which was a bit ironic considering that this seemingly trustworthy person was just about to delete the entire 1.6 database. They also targeted Silery's 1.8 GDPS that she was running at the time, and her email was leaked to the public. Remember when I said that all level data was saved? Well, literally only the level of data was saved. Just the level itself, not even the music that went with the level, just the levels. Everyone had to restore their levels by typing the level, who it belonged to, and then the song for it. This was the fucking worst thing ever, and if you were in the server during this time, you'll most likely remember that it was a terrible process. Next, I want to look at the leaderboard for the 1.6 GDPS, which has had just as many top ones as it had people grinding for it. Okay, yeah, please please, hold your applause, But in all seriousness, the star leaderboard for 1.6 actually is very competitive, or at least used to be competitive, since up to this point, no stat resets had happened as no quote-unquote server hackings had happened. The only thing that was really stopping star grinders, and really any players at the time, was the aforementioned 7m.pl server hosting. Just as competitive, or even more competitive compared to the star leaderboard, was the creator point leaderboard, which has had a not so good history on 1.6 for being, well, it's led to some very bad levels coming on the private server, and since then, not a lot of CP grinding, I guess. I don't like you. Creator point grinding eventually reached its climax after Evnos and I raced to see who could get more CP, and oh god, I gotta stop saying, but yeah, eventually people really stopped creator point grinding, and all, I guess, caredness for the creator leaderboard stopped after I eventually topped Evnos after reaching 65 creator points, and that's kind of the end of the creator point leaderboard as where it stands right now. I would check, but kind of can't, but Evnos is number 1 right now with my old account sitting behind at number 2. Also, this is a warning. If you're thinking about creator point grinding to get number 1 on the leaderboard, don't do it. It's torture. It ruins your soul. It ruins how fun creating is, and you'll hate John Trash more and more. And yeah, you'll basically want to kill yourself as to how terrible it is creator point grinding. So yeah, it's just a warning to anyone who decides to creator point grind. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the 1.6 leaderboards, but one screenshot I want to take notice to is this one, which shows the top 4 players on the star leaderboard playing with the jumper skull icons. This was known as the Skull Gang, and consisted of Cool Stuff, H, KKG, and Jolly, and happened in summer of 2020. There's not much to it. All it is just, again, them playing with the jumper skull icon with different colors, but it just goes to show how, I guess, united everyone was in the 1.6 leaderboards and how friendly everyone was to each other while still being competitive for the top 1 spot. Or it could have just been something they did for fun because they were bored and it's 1.6 and there's only so much you can do in 1.6. But that can't possibly. With the amount of levels being built for the 1.6 GDPS, some of them would be expected to be at such a high quality to where they'd be rated on 2.1, and as of the upload date of this video, 5 levels have been built for the 1.6 GDPS that are rated on 2.1. These levels being Fago Funk by Enwalk, which is featured, Celestial Surge by Paul333, which is featured, Surface by Owedzi, which is star rated, Glaciate by Dream Eater, which is featured, and Pitfall Caverns by Mellow, which is star rated. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like none of these levels should be rated, because all 5 of them show how much you can do with the 1.6 editor, with its limitations of object. So yeah, congratulations to all 5 of you guys and the people you collabed with for getting the levels rated on 2.1. You guys deserve it, and the levels really honestly do show how much you can do in 1.6 with the limitations. So yeah. But there's one level I do want to look at specifically, and that's Pitfall Caverns, mainly due to the difficulty of it being Extreme Demon, and how at one point it was being considered for being placed on the 2.1 Pointer Crate Demon list. And while it was never placed on the 2.1 Demon list, it's still interesting to see just how far these 1.6 GDPS levels can go. And if you guys want a list of levels which I think will get rated soon on 2.1, here are some of them, and if you guys want to beat some levels that are really good for 1.6 but aren't rated, I'd heavily recommend that you guys check out these levels, as these are levels that also really show what you can do when you're limited to 1.6. So yeah. Alright, we've talked about a lot of stuff, but now it's time for the random facts and shit nobody cares about. So here we go. The first rated demon level in the 1.6 GDPS is Ferns. Evnos is known by a select few to have multiple amounts of alts on the server. Arca once had an alt to go along with Seongho. Senko and Blade were in a couple in the beginning of the server. The first attempted collab on 1.6 was called Collab Step and had finished parts from Flux, Bugfinder, Starside, and Blade XRG before dying. Notably, Cercio was involved. To the Heavens by Bizarro wasn't actually a meta collab, having sections that the level creators claimed to have built in but did not actually build in. The only confirmed real ones are Bizarro, Starsign, and Evnos. 2 rated levels, Azurath and Onorim by Morphe, are claimed to have been made in the OG 1.6 update. However, this claim is extremely questionable. The 3rd Team CS collab did get revived at some point, but later died to a lack of interest. H intentionally lost his stats when he was among the top 3 on the star leaderboards. Starsign made levels to test Flux rating standards when the server was originally made, and Flux threatened to delete all of her levels in an announcement. Blade XRG has attempted to come back twice, with new levels being worked on after being banned. They were called Future Frenzy and Delta. Moke was a former member of the 1.6 GDPS Discord server prior to being banned due to being underage. GW Croatia had a secret way upon being released, however this was later fixed. Staff Step was almost renamed to Summer Step. Doomsday 2 was a level being built by KKG, serving as a sequel to his level Doomsday. This level was never finished, however. Formula Dream is a level built by Rise 7, however it is credited as being built by Dream on the Demon list. The 1.6 GDPS had a forums page which later died due to lack of interest and purpose, being completely overshadowed by the Discord server. For some reason, 1.6 members used to really hate the idea of partnering with the 1.9 GDPS. There's a level named Blade of Justice on 1.6. It looks nothing like Blade of Justice. Bald Vegetable Gaming held Phalix at gunpoint to get out of bed. There have been 2 Campalon sleep streams where 1.6 member Campalon streams himself sleeping in a server VC. You were warned in 1.6 GDPS for sub to Phalix. According to 2.0 Mospra, Surface looks kinda like Coloretta. According to Vlad BS, game looks like Just Shapes and Beats. Blitzmister is a 1.6 creator who is known for his core and art levels. He also has rated levels on 2.1. I don't even know what to say. Goes by J Super Buffed, Renegade by Mello and YLO, and Voltron verified it. For some reason, I kept referring to Back From Hell as BFM, and I was also the original verifier of it. There's a trilogy of levels on 1.6 known as the famous 8 trilogy. 8 by Evnos, 8.2 by KKG, and 8.3 by me. SS Venus was a level made for a set of solar system levels. The level had a remake being worked on by Goes by J that was never finished, and the original level was verified by Raffle. The new 1.6 GDPS YouTube channel was created on December 7th, 2020, and the first level showcase was Very Old Dominion by Azumarill. And finally, it has been, as of the upload date of this video, 855 days since the first person asked for a PC download of the 1.6 GDPS. Thank you guys for watching. Huge shout out to Silery for basically helping me with like all the information in this video, and this video is dedicated to Silery and Elise for being the absolute chads for being fans of Cybershell. So I'm gonna go work on our video now. It's like 5 in the morning, dear God. Alright, well, sub to Phalix, you guys, bye.